Hey, it's Anthony. I just wanted to make a quick video with regard to Qwantify. There are a few things that I made mention of in the original review article on the Qwantify business opportunity that are red flags that I didn't address. I feel I should have. So for that reason, I'm creating this video. Let me apologize up front. Not a professional video maker. I've actually never done this before. I'm using very inexpensive screen recording software. I'm sitting behind the bar in my man cave. My dog is lying on the couch. He's probably going to be jumping around and making noise any moment now. My wife is upstairs teaching her class, and my son is in his bedroom directly above me, attending class as well. So again, there's going to be some background noise. I don't have a professional microphone. I'm actually using the internal microphone on my laptop. But there are actually four additional red flags that I didn't get into in the review that I should have, or I feel that I should have, just to kind of solidify my position on the quantified business opportunity. I didn't want to go back and mess with the article itself. It's optimized very well. It's getting a ton of traffic. I know people are, talking to Quantify and coming across it and are looking for, an honest assessment of it, and they're coming across the article. So I don't want to mess with it. So I decided to make, the video. I'm going to try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. I may go on a tangent. I don't know. Again, I've never done this before, but I'm going to get into it. There are four things within the actual review of Quantify that I did that I didn't address. And again, I feel that I should have. On Qwantify.com, on their success page, there's a bunch of, well, not so much, about 6 websites that are the successful web properties of Quantify. It's not clear if they're were made for Quantify, by Quantify, if they were made by Quantify for clients. All I know is that these are supposed to be the most successful web properties. The Shopify niche stores that they create, they market, that's going to, make that $10,000 a month in gross revenue, making you a net profit of anywhere between, $5,000 and $6,500 a month. So here we have Bye Bye Hairs. Property does exist, obviously, as well as My College Pride. Now, I did make mention in the review that they do not do any sort of organic search engine optimization. They predominantly rely solely on social media marketing and email list building. So I went to Facebook. I found Bye Bye Hair's Facebook fan page as well as My College Pride's Facebook fan page. Again, these are supposed to be 2 out of 6 of the most successful web properties of Quantify. Here, Bye Bye Hairs, 142 likes, has not been active since November 19th of 2018. My College Pride, that's 344 likes, has not been active since September 11th of 2018. Both these most successful Quantify web properties, Shopify niche drop shipping stores, have both been dormant on Facebook for close to 2 years. Huge, huge red flag. Another red flag is the address, which I actually did address within the blog article, but what I came across is actually much, much more concerning to me and a much bigger red flag. When I initially did the review on the blog, I could have sworn that it was an executive office suite, meaning, it's an address. You actually have a suite. You share the conference room, the receptionist, the copy machine. You actually have a physical presence. But when I actually drill down on the address using quotation marks, I found that there's a multitude of businesses working out of the same suite, which means at the end of the day, it's a virtual office. Now, it's a virtual office, meaning that you're just basically paying somebody to use the address the same way that you would go to a store that has P.O. boxes, or even like a USPS store or a FedEx store, and say, hey, I want to rent out this P.O. box for $25 a month. They're doing it for as low as $49 a month. Now, when I spoke to the sales representative, obviously his job is to sell me. He wants my $47,000 investment. He told me that, Qwantify has been doing this business model for about 3 years, or actually, I think a little over 3 years, and that when we spoke, there was about 140 clients in total, of which most of them were still being managed by Qwantify. However, if I just use 100 clients, 47,000, that's $4.7 million in total revenue, and averaged it out for 3 years. That's 1.4, a little over $1.5 million in revenue that's generated, but they're working out of a virtual office. It does not make any sort of sense to me, none whatsoever. Third red flag is the actual guarantee. The whole premise behind the Qwantify business opportunity is that, hey, on Qwantify's side of the equation or side of the fence, give us $47,000, and probably sometime within 6 months, 7 months, we're going to get that site to make $10,000 a month in gross revenue. You're going to make net profit of between $5,000 and $6,500 a month, and they guarantee it. But the question is, do they really guarantee it? I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but the contract itself is pretty standard. But what's concerning to me is that the performance guarantee or the performance agreement is edited as an addendum. If you're truly guaranteeing that level of success, why not put it in the body of the contract? I can only assume that it's done for legal purposes, to deflect liability away from them. But what are they actually guaranteeing? Here it is, $10,000, 10,000 US dollars in writing. It's achieved. But all they're really saying is that they're going to provide services to me as the customer until that $10,000 threshold is achieved. But what if it's not? Oh, they're going to continue to provide services to me. But for how long? Well, until the $10,000 threshold is achieved. Okay, but is that going to take, 6 to 7 months, as they say on their end, or could it be more like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 50 years? They have no way of knowing. All it says is that they're going to continue to provide services to me. There's no cutoff point. There's no refund policy. Hey, if we don't achieve this goal within 14 months, within 24 months, within 36 months, we're going to give you your money back, or even a portion. Hey, you invested $47,000. We'll give you back, 10 grand. It's not even addressed. And lastly, and again, I apologize, I've never done this before. I'm probably going off and making this video a lot longer than it should be. But on top of the $47,000, as the initial investment, when I spoke to the sales rep, he told me that on top of that, I have to give them $1,500 additional per month until the site becomes self-sufficient, where there are enough sales being made that it's, at least breaking even. The site is breaking even until they can get to that mark. But I just gave them $47,000. Why do I have to give them an additional $1,500? When I posed the question, the answer was basically, well, it's going to lose money, for the first couple months until, it builds up to that point. So it should only take 2 months. So at most, you're only going to come out of pocket with $3,000. Okay, that's great, $3,000, but it's not $47,000. Let's call it $50,000. So why not just call it $50,000? Why say, hey, give us $47,000, and then on top of that, it's going to be an additional $200 a month, for the upkeep of the site, for the Shopify apps that you're going to need, and on top of that, an additional $3,000 in advertising until we can get that site, up and running. And don't worry, it's not going to happen until after we actually build the site and we start to market it. So, again, red flags, and just to sum it all up. Here we have a company that is guaranteeing something in writing, but really not guaranteeing what we think they're guaranteeing. 2 out of the 6 most successful web properties that they've worked on, that they either own for themselves or that they operate for clients, um, or have been dormant for close to 2 years on social media. And they're also working at a virtual office space. Not even an executive suite, executive office space. So that's pretty much it, guys. Um, Again, I apologize for the quality of the video. You know, I guess for a first attempt on the cuff, it's not bad. Maybe it is terrible. I don't know. I guess you'll let me know. If for some reason you came across this video researching Qwantify and didn't come across the blog post, I'm going to provide a link within the description to the actual review that I wrote. And again, um, I just really want to know whether I'm being nitpicky. Um, if I'm looking at this from the right perspective, if I'm not. More importantly, I really want to see something from an actual Qwantify client, not speaking over the phone. See some proof, same way I'm doing this, a screen recording, we could easily do a screen sharing session, you know, go into your back office on Shopify and say, hey, this is how many units of this I sold, this is my traffic. But none of that is available. At this point, it's just red flag after red flag after red flag. So anyway, again, I apologize for not making mention of any of these 4 areas of concern within the original blog post. I hope you at least somewhat enjoyed the video. Probably hate my voice, maybe you don't. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to do this again in the future. I'm just kind of playing around with it. But let me know what you think. Either comment on the YouTube video here itself or head over to the blog and make a comment. All right, and that's pretty much it. So again, if you were curious, didn't come across the blog post whether I invested with Qwantify, the answer is resounding.